Hey, Shalom. Hey, Shalom, Akia. Give me 1 second. I'm going to have to adjust this camera. Salakia. Alright, hey, Shalom, Akia. This is Yabatazah. I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone. Much love and respect to all you brothers out there doing the work in sincerity and truth. Striving for the hopeful elect, enduring all afflictions, and seeking out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash, Barakatham, Akim, and Akwathium. You know, as we know, we're at the end, man. This is the end. Okay? And the end comprises of the downfall of a kingdom, of a nation, a group of people that are in rulership. Okay? And various other nations that take part in that ruling. Okay, that's what the end of the world is. Okay, I want to go ahead and just jump off with 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, and then start at verse 7. It says, "Then answered I," well, I'll start up in verse 6. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through me and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none others. Talking about Yahweh Shai. Okay, because Yahweh Shai, he created all the things that be, whether visible or invisible. So all things are going to end through him, if that's the will of the Father. If that's the will of the Father, Yahweh Shai is going to implement that. Okay, just like Yahweh, his Father, implemented that the world and the nations and the animals and everything that exists and that is invisible or invisible, had his son create. Okay, so it's going to end through him. And it goes in to say, "Then answered I and said," right, talk about Ezra. Now this is Ezra saying, "Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?" Because there's a beginning of everything, right? And there's also an end to everything. Okay? So that's what Ezra was asking the angel. Say, hey, well, what is the parting asunder of time? What is the beginning and the end of a thing? Right? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? Now he's speaking of a specific thing. A lot of people look over it that I've come across. I've asked, even myself, I didn't know. But that's why we have certain men that have that were taught, that relay the information to teach others. Okay, this is Genesis chapter 25 and verse Genesis chapter 25, and I'll start at verse, let me see, hang on. Let's see. Genesis 5 and 23, and the Lord said unto her I'll start at verse 23. "And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger, and the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger." All right, so it's in the womb of Rebekah, there was two. She had twins, and there was a struggle going within her. She was in great pain, man. That's what she was going through. It wasn't nothing nice. It wasn't that she was just kicking back, relaxing, and just acknowledging, oh, look at all this motion. No, she was actually physically in pain, man. Probably wasn't able to sleep. There was constant commotion, movement. And the angel told her that there's two nations in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. So there's two babies in the womb, all right? But these are going to grow up to be two separate nations, meaning they're going to have their own ways of life, their own ways of customs and traditions, okay, their own ways of thinking and thoughts. Okay, it says, And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And who is the elder? Esau, and the younger is Jacob, right? And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Okay? And they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. And this is what in the book of Ezra chapter 6, it's going to go into this particular prophecy, because this was a prophecy represented a certain thing. And after that came his brother out, right? And after came his brother out, now it's talking about Jacob, because Esau came out first, came out red and all over it like a hairy garment, right? And his hand took hold on Esau's heel. So when Esau was coming out, Jacob had a grasp on his heel, man. On Jacob had a grasp on Esau's heel, right? As it says, and his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was 80 years old, right, when she bare them. Now, when you read that, you just read, people would look at it and just read over it. Oh, he had a hold of his heel, But the Bible is always, when it mentions certain things, there's meaning to it. There's meaning behind when these things are occurring, It says, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Okay, so this is where this is going to. This particular chapter in that verse, Genesis 25, is going to link up with this in 2nd Ezra 6 and 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, you see, of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. So this going back into Genesis chapter 25, when that was going on between Rebekah and her womb with their two sons, which were twins. Okay, Esau came out looking different from his family, And it said, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So Esau is the end of the world. Okay, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So that's why we're seeing all the things that are going on right now on the earth, because we're at the last rule of a certain kingdom. A ruler is ruling right now that at his last straw, man. Okay. So that's why they think that everything is going on right now. Let me get this one here in the book of Matthew, chapter 25 or 24. Matthew 24 and 1. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came unto him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Right? And he sat upon the Mount of Olives. The disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? An end of an age. Now when you go into that word world, in the Greek, it's eon, okay, which is a particular time, an age, a generation, okay, which is the generation that we live in right now. Who's ruling? Esau, the so-called white people, man. These Edom, they're considered Edomites in the Bible, all right, Hebrew Edomites. So the apostles were asking, hey, when is the sign of thy coming, and what is the end? What shall and the end of the world? What is the sign of the end of the world? Now you're seeing it, man. There's pestilence, there's earthquakes, the economy is in inflation. Okay? The poverty level is high, the everything that you can think of is at its highest peak, man. Alright, crime, murder, alright, idolatry, adultery, homosexuality, everything is at its highest peak. that is contrary to the ways of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, that is detrimental to your survival, man. Because everybody wants to be saved. Nobody wants to die. But their actions are showing that, man. Your actions are showing that you want to be destroyed. Just like Esau, his actions show forth death, man. That's why Cain murdered his brother Abel. All right, Esau wanted to kill Jacob because Jacob inherited the blessing. Okay? It says again, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And the signs are all here, man. Everything that the elect need to know, the signs are here. Okay? The signs are here, man. Let me get this one in Ecclesiastes real quick. Let's see. This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 8. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. Right? So it's a good thing that Esau's going to be brought down, man, because if this man doesn't, we're all going to die. We'll all destroy ourselves, man. As it says right there in Matthew 24. And I'll start at 21. For there shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Why? Because man will destroy us, man. They will destroy this world, right? The earth, the animals. Let's see here, see what they have in Matthew 21. If there's anything in Matthew 21, go to Mark 13. Let's go over here to the book of Daniel. Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. It's a Daniel 12 and 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be written, that shall be found written in the book. Okay? So there's great destruction coming, man. Why? Because if this man is not put down, we're all gonna be destroyed, man. We're all gonna die. That's why Yahweh Shai has to come out of from his throne to his footstool and to redeem and set things in order, man. Okay, that's why the things that are going on in the earth is because of wickedness. Okay, evil. All right. Get this one in Isaiah. The end of the world is the end of an age. All right. Particular group of people that are ruling, just like you had the Babylonians, you had the Medo-Persian Empire, the Greeks and the Romans rule, and what happened to them? They all fell. This is Isaiah 62 and 10. Go through the gates. Prepare ye the way of the people. Cast up the highway. Gather out the stones. Lift up a standard for the people. And that's what we're doing on the highways and the byways. You know, we're coming out to the highways and the byways, preaching and prophesying, preparing the way, just like John the Baptist did. For all you people that say John the Baptist wasn't in the truth, or he wasn't a man of the Lord, or he didn't follow the Lord. Okay, John the Baptist did exactly what we're doing right now, crying out, lifting up his voice like a trumpet, showing his people their transgressions, preaching them the repentance for the remission of sins and forgiveness. All right, finding mercy by way of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. We're doing the same thing. It says, behold, the Lord hath proclaimed unto the end of the world. Right, so the Lord is proclaiming unto the end of the world, to all four corners of the earth. in the end of the world, because the word has to what? Get it again real quick. Matthew 24:14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. See? The end of who? Esau. The Edomites, man. So-called white people that are in rulership. Those fake Jews that rule the media, the music industry, everything. The IRS. Okay? All that is going to be brought down. Is going to come to an end. Okay? The end of the end, as you know it, is the end of Esau. It's not the end of the earth. It's none of that stuff. It's going to be the downfall of a certain kingdom. Okay, that's the end of the world. So, yeah, man. That's the end of the world, and it says, "Say ye to the daughters of Zion, Behold, thy salvation cometh. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him." That's right. And all we have to do is do the work. Get right with our Yahweh Bashem Al Shah power, and confess his name, present our bodies a living sacrifice, and hope and endure, man. Put on as a hopeful elect, because nobody else is doing this. Especially these self-proclaimed Christians, and these people that have this sense of righteousness, but in their life they're all just working wickedness. When they see somebody, they want to try to come up and act like they're at a certain level when they're not. They don't even know the Bible. All they know is John 3:16. All they know, and they don't even know what that means. And then all they know is the Gentiles, and they don't even know what that means. They don't even know what the word Gentile means. Yahweh has set certain men up to come out in the last days, man, to preach, to prophesy, to tell you to get ready, because the destruction is coming, man. So Jeremiah 28. Jeremiah 28:8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries, against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. You see? And we're the ones that are preaching and prophesying about these things that are coming by way of the scriptures, the Holy Spirit, man. All right? The Bible talks about pestilence. That's why you got the coronavirus going on. Everybody's scared of that. Everybody's especially in China, now here in the United States, there's cases popping up everywhere now. Okay? People are getting contracting the virus. But that's what the prophets, the men of the Lord, they warn you of the pestilence, of famine, of war. But then y'all always had a problem with the men that stood on the highways and the byways preaching you, telling you, what has to be done, who has to be brought down, and who the Lord is going to bring down. And y'all had a problem with that. Yahweh Bashem Al Shai, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus, is coming back to destroy, man. And before he comes and cracks those clouds, he's sending his forerunners. The forerunners are the plagues. And the plagues come in different forms. A disease, virus, okay? Or famine. Hunger, It comes in different forms, man. Or he'll cause a flood to come through, earthquakes, or complete darkness. Or he'll freeze up a whole city, man. Let me read that again. Jeremiah 8:28-8. It says, "For the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied." And the word prophesy means to say before. Say before something comes to pass, man. Okay? And we're telling you that America is going to be destroyed. America is just a place, not just any kind of place, but a place that was built upon bloodshed, man. There's a lot of blood on this land by way of the indigenous people, the Native American Indians, going all the way from South America all the way up to Alaska. Those were Israelites, man. Okay? So this land, America, right, they labeled America, this land is going to be destroyed. There's going to be a great destruction coming to this land. The Bible refers to it as Great Babylon. Okay? It says, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries, so we're prophesying against this country. We're telling you it's going to come to America, just because right now it hit China, it's hitting Italy, it's hit Iran. Okay, I think in New Zealand there's a case. Now it's hit Brazil. Now it's in Mexico and Coahuila and Sinaloa, and now it's making its way up over here to America, California. I believe in Idaho there's a case. All right. And I believe they found one in San Antonio. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that there's a case in San Angelo, or San Antonio, Salaki. San Antonio's like 3 hours away from San Angelo, man. You know, what, the border of Mexico, it's about like 5 hours away, maybe less than that. Del Rio, then you got the border of Mexico, man. So people in America think they're safe, man, but we've been telling you of what's coming. Been telling you from the beginning of this ministry, even before me, the elders have been telling you of pestilence, of things of that nature. You know, we talk about it every Passover, man. We're going back into the story of Exodus. Okay, this is Ezekiel 33 and verse. I'll start at Ezekiel 33 and 7. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Right? So that a prophet is a watchman. Right? Like the news broadcaster, he's watching. You know? It says, so thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore shalt thou hear the word at my mouth, and warn them from me. So it's our job is to warn you from Yahushua, because Yahushua, he's not coming as a man. He's not coming as a man riding on a donkey where you were able to abuse him, crucify him, spit on him, set a crown of thorns upon his head, pierce through his flesh, scrape across his bone, man, his skull. We ain't gonna be able to do that no more, man. So it's our job to tell you that, hey, man, these things are coming. Before he comes, that's what he's doing. He's setting out these plagues upon the earth. Okay? He's sending out these plagues, man. Just like he did in Egypt. Same thing he did in Egypt was what he's doing now. Okay? And later on, you know, as the time progresses in the future, it's going to become more apparent and more apparent. You know? It says, so thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth, and warn them from me. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die, if thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way, that wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thy hand. Nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, if he do not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. Okay? But thou hast delivered thy soul, man. That's why we do what we do. Alright? Because we know the Esau is going to be destroyed. This kingdom, America, Great Babylon, is going to be brought down. You know, I remember before I came into the truth, I was like, where America, the scriptures don't talk about America. Who's America then? You know? But I wasn't naive, man. I wasn't simple, because I saw the wickedness that was here. And I knew that this place wasn't good. I just didn't know how to relate it to the scriptures. Until, you know, Yahushua answered my prayer in 2008, came across the brothers, the man of Jacob, and that's how I found out. You know? But that's the question to, is this the end of the world? Yes, this is the end of the downfall of a kingdom. This is the beginning of sorrows, man. No, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Alright, let's go over here to Second Ezra. Second Ezra 16 and 17, it says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. So these are the beginning of sorrows, man. It's going to get way worse than what's going on right now. All right, this is a small thing, but it's also at the same time it's a big thing, because this thing can blow up, man. You know, it's right now. It's not even truly a pandemic, because a pandemic is killing thousands and thousands upon people, man. Just like the Spanish flu, just like the bubonic plague. This right now is barely. It's still like it's still an epidemic, you know. But yeah, it's spreading. So I understand the whole the pandemic terminology, but it's not really truly affecting everybody yet. Okay. But like I said, it's gonna increase. This right now is the beginning of sorrows, man. It says, 2nd Ezra 16 and 18, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. So that's why when Ezra says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Right? Who's going to deliver me in these things that are going on in the earth, man? All this stuff that's going on. People seeing people die, hearing about this thing, this rumor going on over here, this rumor over here in this region of the world. It says, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? See, and that's what people, they're not asking themselves. They're depending on the World Health Organization to give them an answer. They're hoping in their pharmacies, the hospitals. All right, the pharmaceuticals to help them. You know, they're putting their hopes in Donald Trump, because he said that, hey, America got everything controlled, everything's sealed up tight. You know, we have everything, you know, locked down in the sense of everything's secure. Don't worry about it. Now they have a vaccine working. They're working towards it rapidly. You know. But you can't put your trust in man, man. You can't be trusted, man, because Yahweh Shai told us that these things were going to come to pass. Brothers, bear with me, man. Only got 10 fingers, man. This is Proverbs 25 and 19. Confidence in an unfaithful man in time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. Right. Meaning that it's it can't do nothing for you, man. You know, you're relying on something that is broken, that has no power. Okay? Donald Trump has no power against the plagues of Yahweh B'Shem Shai. Nor does Esau have power from keeping Yahweh B'Shem Shai from bringing him down from his throne, man. From ruling. He don't have the power to stop him. Okay? Donald Trump is going to have to see. Donald Trump's going to see his whole kingdom, that race of people is going to see the downfall of their kingdom, man. Read it again. Proverbs 25 and 19. Confidence in an unfaithful man in time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. Okay? That's right. Can't be putting your trust in man like that. Especially an unfaithful man. That man is unfaithful. He don't love the Bible. He don't love Yahweh B'Shem Shai. He don't even care to know. Okay? Edomites don't care to know. Edomites had Yahweh Shai killed, man. They mocked at him. They scourged him. They pierced him on the side. You know? And at that, the Edomites were always at war with Israel anyways. They were at war in the very beginning of the womb, man. Before they even came out the womb, they're already going at it. You know? That's the end of the world. Okay? It says in 2nd Ezra 15 or 16 and 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. That's right. So those things, this pestilence, these earthquakes, tsunamis, typhoons, famine, the plague, by way of the locust, which is swarming and eating up the crops. That's an amendment, man. That is meant to get you people either to repent, or put on sackcloth and be sorry and well for your children, because your days come that you're going to be destroyed. It's a sign, and we have to declare this to all nations, man. Let people everywhere know that Yahweh Shem Shai is coming back to destroy, man. And simultaneously, he's going to deliver the elect. Right now, he's sealing up the elect. By way of how? By way of preaching. Faith cometh by hearing of the word of the Most High, man. But not everybody wants to accept it. That's why they're going to be in great terrors, man. They're going to be terrified out here. They're going to be destroyed, man. They're going to be stamped as a residue. They're going to be ground to powder. Be ate up by animals. All types of evil things, all types of anything that you can imagine. That's what's going to happen out here, man. It says this is all the beginnings of the downfall of a kingdom, man. These things don't just happen just to happen, right? Man, let me see what I have lined up. Close that. Let me get this other one. This is Sirach 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force, and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire, hell, famine, death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. See? So these are the things that are created and put forth into the earth every time a kingdom is about to fall, man. When the Lord ain't pleased with the kingdom, man. So he starts sending out these calamities, these atrocities. Right? It's just like when Paul, in the book of Acts, when Paul built that fire in Melita, that a serpent bit him, and the people that saw it, they of that island said that this man was a murderer. Basically he was somebody that was found wanting.